Ambassador Kethvar's mandibles clicked nervously as he reviewed the surveillance reports from Zerion Prime. The holographic display showed impossible scenes. Humans building cities where nothing should survive, children playing in acid rain, families gathering around thermal vents that would cook any civilized species alive. "This cannot be accurate," he muttered, his 4 eyes scanning the data for errors. The Galactic Council had banished humanity to Zerion Prime 3 standard cycles ago. It was meant to be a death sentence disguised as relocation, a way to rid the galaxy of the most troublesome species ever encountered without technically committing genocide. The planet was perfect for their purposes. Gravity 3 times standard, an atmosphere that corroded most metals, surface temperatures that fluctuated between freezing and molten, and storms that could level mountains. No species had ever survived, there longer than a solar rotation. Yet here were the humans, not just surviving, but thriving. Kethvar activated his communicator. "Connect me to the council immediately." Within moments, the familiar blue glow of the emergency session chamber materialized around him. The representatives of 12 species appeared as shimmering holograms, their various forms of agitation clearly visible. "Fellow council members," Kethvar began, his voice trembling slightly. "We have a problem." High Arbiter Zephyros, a crystalline being whose light pulsed with authority, spoke first. "The humans are dead, Kethvar. We confirmed this months ago when their distress signals ceased." "That's what we assumed," Kethvar replied, transmitting the surveillance data to the chamber. "But they weren't calling for help, they were calling their families to dinner." The chamber fell silent as the images played. Humans had not only adapted to Zerion Prime, they had transformed it. Where the acid storms raged, they had built collection systems that powered their cities. Where the crushing gravity should have broken their bones, children ran and played with weighted vests growing stronger than their earthborn ancestors. Where the toxic atmosphere should have killed them in minutes, they had developed breathing apparatus that filtered the air, turning poison into something life-sustaining. But it was more than survival, it was mastery. The humans had discovered that Zerion Prime's unique mineral composition, when properly processed through their improvised refineries, created materials stronger than anything the galaxy had ever seen. Their buildings, grown rather than built, seemed to pulse with the planet's own energy. Their food, somehow they had learned to cultivate crops in soil that should have been barren waste. "How?" whispered Counselor Vex, her gaseous form rippling with disbelief. "We tested dozens of condemned species on lesser worlds. None lasted more than days." The answer came from an intercepted human transmission, a simple conversation between a mother and child. "Mama, why did the star people send us to this scary place?" "Because, sweetheart, they didn't understand that scary places aren't scary to humans. They're just places that haven't been turned into home yet." Kethvar paused the recording. "They don't see Zerion Prime as a death world. They see it as a challenge. And humans, as we've learned too late, don't run from challenges, they adapt to them." High Arbiter Zephyros's light dimmed. "What are you suggesting, Ambassador?" "I'm suggesting that in trying to eliminate humanity, we may have created something far more dangerous," Kethvar replied. "Look at these readings. The humans aren't just surviving, they're evolving. The gravity is making them stronger. The harsh environment is making them more resilient. The isolation is making them more unified." The surveillance continued to play. Human children, barely adolescent by galactic standards, were lifting stones that would crush adult members of most council species. Their engineers had reverse-engineered galactic technology from the minimal supplies they'd been given and improved upon it. Their scientists had discovered new applications for Zerion Prime's unique properties that the Council's greatest minds had missed. But perhaps most disturbing of all was their attitude. In every recorded conversation, in every glimpse of their daily lives, the humans seemed happy. They spoke of their new world with affection, even pride. They had named the acid storms, sky cleaners, and the crushing gravity zones, strength gardens. They had turned a world of death into a world of life through sheer stubborn refusal to accept that it couldn't be done. We need to bring them back, Counselor Vex suggested. Offer them better worlds, resources, technology. You're missing the point, Kethvar interrupted. They don't want to come back. Look at this. The final transmission was from the human settlement's leader, a woman named Elena Vasquez. She was addressing the planet's population. My friends, we've received another message from the Galactic Council. They're offering us relocation to what they call more suitable worlds. I say, we send them our standard response, thank you, but we're home. The cheers that followed could be heard even through the static of long-range transmission. High Arbiter Zephyros's form grew brighter, a sign of deep contemplation. What do our strategists recommend? Kethvar's mandibles clicked again, but this time with resignation rather than nervousness. That we leave them alone. The humans have turned our ultimate punishment into their greatest triumph. Zerion Prime isn't their prison anymore. It's their fortress. And after seeing what they can do with a world that was supposed to kill them, he paused, looking around the chamber at his fellow council members. I'd rather not find out what they could do with a world they actually liked. The transmission ended with images of human children building something in Zerion Prime's courtyard, not struggling to survive, but planning their future among the stars. They had taken the galaxy's cruelest judgment and transformed it into their greatest strength. Humanity hadn't just survived their exile to hell. They had made hell into home, and in doing so had become something the galaxy had never seen before, truly unstoppable.